Hey everybody, welcome back to I left my banner up. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. Quantum panel, me and Lynn right now. Hi Lynn.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Wound up from all this talk about psionics and mental contact and
Yeah, and
I love it. I love it though.
everybody came by, Michigan UFO, and
Everybody,
yeah,
Amy
and
came by. This
Amy, good morning UFO.
this Amy, I loved it. Hottest mug in ufology. No.
Hi,
Mm.
Operation Shutdown.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Aussie Tiger, welcome back. Operation Shutdown, thanks for coming by. I've seen you out there among the ufology talks. And
Yeah,
OB2, Rachel Andrews Flick, thank you for. I keep saying Frick. I'm sorry about that. I know it says it
you
even. I'm
new one.
reading it and I'm saying Frick.
If you know somebody has a name that's similar, it's really hard not to say the other one's name.
Right. And I knew someone. I know someone named Frick.
There's
And
Tim
Tim is
and
here.
Renee.
Renee is here. Samo made. Hey,
and
Sarah.
There's Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Everybody, thanks for coming back to the quantum panel. Man, the first hour was energized. Let me tell you, hey, human Jim, and folks going good. Folks going good. We're doing good. Hey,
Yeah, we're
Renee.
just filling up as fast as we can see them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and yeah, the first hour, as y'all know, was over this.
Right.
And this is right in our wheelhouse, okay? This is this is what we do here. We
Yeah.
do this because what they're talking about is psionics, the government. It's like they're talking about UAPs, meaning UFOs,
Right.
but it's just the way they classify it. Well, psionics is the way we classify psychic and spiritual.
Right.
Uh Candle magic much, y'all? You know?
Well,
And
they're very much experimenting where some of the rest of us have a little bit of knowledge in it and do it kind of routinely, I guess be the way you'd say it.
yeah, we're literally old hands at this crystal network.
Yeah.
Okay, candle magic. Candle magic is old school, way
Very
way
old.
old school, and
Very old. Goes back to the cavemen.
yeah,
They stared into the fire.
and they access their what do we call it? Quantum link. That's what I call it.
That's right.
Let me adjust this a little bit. I had to move some stuff around.
I'm still fighting that cold. Well, it's not
Oh,
exactly a cold. I've got a bit of pneumonia.
oh, damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be sorry. I got it.
Well,
I got it. I went to the doctor. I submitted.
right. Yeah, I'm going through some doctor stuff right now.
I made up some
Ugh.
huge batch lemon, honey, orange, uh,
Yeah.
a little bit of syrupy stuff. Okay, Raven, we'll see you when you get here.
Yep. Raven saying,
And um, mix that all together. Had well, my bonus child put all that together and said, "Here, drink it." You know, okay, I got it. I
mhm,
got it. Don't hurt me. You know.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. My mom got some kind of a sinus weird upper something.
Yeah.
I got her oregano oil. It nipped it. It's it's
Yeah.
it's done. It's done.
It's the old style polysis too. Where you
Yeah. Well, she can't
put
have
like
any of that.
a, a yeah a mustard plaster on your chest. I can't either. I just break out like crazy.
Yeah, she can't
But
have any of that stuff. She has to have like anything that sticks to something. She can't have it. Right? Either inside or outside. She can't have it.
mm,
If it
mm,
sticks to your stomach lining or your skin,
mm,
she can't
mm,
have it. It'll burn her skin.
mm.
Um,
I understand.
yeah, and she's got heartburn real bad, but the oils don't bother her. It's
Well,
the
that's good.
dried herbs that go when you take dry herbs, stick
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's an allergy situation or sensitivity one, I
Yeah,
should
right.
say.
In her case, it's sensitivity.
Mhm.
Hold on, let
I
me
got a good one for you. The Storm insisted I go to the doctor because he figured walking pneumonia, and so we got outside, and it's early, and a rooster lives across the street from us, and it goes, of course, it calls out, and I'm like, I know, honey, I know, it was cold. And Storm just could hardly make it to the car. The older I get, the more I understand why a rooster screams first thing in the morning.
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking about, for those, I've been kind of stalling for people to come in the chat, right?
Of
Now it looks
course.
like everybody's going to be here, is going to be here. Amy has a link to join in if she wants, but it's really late for her. It's
Right.
it's
I've
your
forgotten
time.
where she lives.
She's in New Mexico. So
Oh,
she's your area.
it's only 9:45.
It's late for her.
It's late. Well,
It's late for her.
she's hard at it first thing in the morning and it goes on.
Mhm. She does a show before her job.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And she's
I
super
could if it's
organized.
okay to sleep during it.
Do what?
See, I could do it if it was okay to sleep during it.
Yeah, well, that's something I want to talk to y'all behind stage about too.
Oh, really?
Backstage, yeah.
Ooh,
I'm only doing once a week, and
right.
we as for backstage talk.
Yeah,
As for
we'll
backstage
discuss
talk.
it. We'll discuss it. Raven and I are cooking up some potions too.
No, okay. Well, cool. Well, Raven, you're free to host a segment here. That is to be. That's what we're. That's what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
anyway, getting back to what we came here all for was, and you know what? I'm still talking about Michaela Fachar. I'm still
right.
talking about Michaela because she was with Amy, did an interview premiere literally right before my show. Like it ended 30 minutes before my show started.
Oh,
And it was great. It was great. I love hearing not a big important, you know, I saw the aliens, I talked to UFOs or whatever, right? Um,
right.
I handled the documents. No, she was staff. Okay. She was support staff. And you know what? There would be no Jeremy Corbell, David Grush, or Elizondo without support staff.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
The
It's
headliners,
the
huh?
thing is when they stand and report is they have to be absolutely factual, and that doesn't leave when you leave the service.
Right. Well, the thing is, no, what I'm getting at is she's not part of the narrative, right?
No,
The
not that I
narrative
can tell.
is those guys, Corbell, and now not Corbell. He's narrative, but he's not ex-military. He wishes, but Corbell, Elizondo, and Grush, they're all being told what they can say. She ain't been told nothing. She's literally a whistleblower. She said on Amy's interview, she actually faked out the CIA to come to her aid. She was worried about herself, so she posted some stuff. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to get the CIA out here, right? Um, and they would show up. Trust me. Go look at her her Twitter, right? But she to get the CIA to come to her place, so no one else would come to her place. Good move. That's the way to use the system right there. You know,
That's very
um,
intelligent.
right?
Most
It's
people
like
wouldn't think of it.
right. It's like bypassing the system. Like if you want security at your place, you know what you do? You put an Al Qaeda flag in your yard. You'll have CIA, FBI, everybody's gonna be watching your place. Nobody's gonna go break in.
Run a show that's about UFOs. You know?
Right, right. But if you want, that's the joke. But she literally did it, and
I'm
it
not
worked.
joking. I'm
Yeah,
not joking at all.
I know. Now they don't have to come over in a van. They can just listen to the internet.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, let's make things easy for them. After all, they're hardworking kids, and
Yeah,
you
and
know.
I don't want to have to keep. I know we both don't want to have to keep ordering delivery for them.
Yeah, it gets a little costly.
Mhm. And they don't like it when we take them coffee, so I hear. I didn't say that. Did I say that? I didn't say
No, see, it's
that.
when Storm and I lived on Vulcan Avenue, and you know what Vulcan Avenue is like.
Mhm.
I looked around and Storm was a little nervous, and I said, "Nah, it'll be fine." He goes, "How do you know that?" I said, "We're surrounded by them, but the grandma lives here." You know?
Mhm.
And he looked, stared at me. I said, "The grandma lives here. There better not be any trouble here, or she'll could take her cane after him."
Mhm.
A
But
very quiet neighborhood, wasn't it?
for a time,
Yeah, for a
for a
time.
time it was. And yeah, she actually faked out that was genius, right?
Yes.
Faked out the CIA to come
Boy,
and watch her place so nobody else would show up
boy.
because what she said was like surface level, but these are deep op people that showed up to take care of surface level stuff. And the deep op that she didn't want coming to her door were kept away by the
Oh yeah.
CIA. Genius,
This is
genius
our
move.
case. Leave it alone.
Yeah, and she was. I talked about her her job. Now she was administrative. Okay, she was a reports analyst
Yeah, she
for a
wouldn't have
time.
known half of what she knew if she hadn't been as well placed as she was.
Right. And it was also brought up, speaking of placement, it was also brought up that she was being put there as part of a narrative maybe she didn't know about. And that happens. They did it to me,
Mhm.
right? They did it to me. They as I don't know if they ever stopped, honestly. I don't because let me tell you, this job I got here, it literally came out of nowhere. Okay. And it's great. Apparently they can watch me here if
Well,
they have
yeah.
anything to do with it. Yeah, if they have anything to do with it, they can watch me here because I am in it's an FAA, it's a federal job, right? And maybe they lined it up,
Well,
okay?
the big they are very well connected.
Yeah. And
And
we have connections to Boeing
yeah.
at
Oh boy,
my
big,
job.
big they. Yeah, you better shut up over there.
Oh, let them come on. Let them come on. If they do anything to me, it's like admitting
Oh yeah.
aliens are out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this
Um,
show is sort of our insurance that nothing does happen.
right. Or I'll get the if they show up during a show, best ratings ever.
Oh yeah.
Best ratings. Though they don't want that. It's like spiteful. They don't want me to get good clicks and views because can you imagine
Oh.
Boeing attack on live air? Oh, or if I just
It's sort
disappear
of
in
a
a
one trick pony though.
right, but I would be I would become ufology with this shirt on. If they're gonna come by, they need to come by now, right? Because this shirt will live forever. By the way, merch coming soon. Gonna have T-shirts in the Buy Me a Coffee store, and it's gonna be basically for members only, right? I've got to get I got to get some more made. I got to find people to do 5X. The guy who did these don't do 5X.
5X. What are you clothing? A horse?
Yeah.
You know? all
You know
kidding,
what?
all kidding aside, 5X is not that big. Well, to me, it's not. But then again, I got a closed storm.
Right, right. But you know what I should do? I got the Ewok. He's from space. I got the robots, and I got the and you hooked me up with the sign. I need to hang up some UFOs and get a Man in Black Barbie doll or something. Barbie in black? Oh my god, that would be
My.
awesome. I'm gonna look on Etsy later.
There you go.
I am a toy. I've got dolls over there from when the little kid was wanting to play with dolls. That's a cool
Mhm.
story. Let me
It
tell this
was.
story.
I like
Let
it.
Not too many people here know about the child ghost, right? Okay, when I first moved in here, I all of a sudden started liking dolls. Not baby dolls, not uh cutesy stuff, grown up woman dolls. And I had
S-
no idea why.
What do you mean,
Rest like
like
wrestlers
action
and yeah, dolls,
action figures?
yeah, action figure dolls
Oh wow.
Xena and uh what's her name? Ahsoka, Princess Leia, strong female wrestler women, right? I got a whole bag of wrestling women dolls, okay, along with various other strong woman dolls. I didn't know why I liked them until my ghost whisperer friend Shingoji came over, and he acted literally as a medium for me to talk to both ghosts that were here at the time. And yeah, in case someone doesn't know, this place is haunted. It's on historically haunted land from the Revolutionary War, right?
Right.
Just so disclaimer for everyone, right?
So what's become of them? So you haven't
They're in a
spoken about them much off. Are they kind of hibernating right now?
what's that?
Are they
The
kind of hibernating right now?
Oh no, they're not hibernating. They're always active, but they just don't bother me
Okay.
too much. They the kid does come in and like pick up a toy every now and again, and I hear noise in the middle of the night, and I have to mentally stand up and say, "Hey, if you I've told you before, if you want to play with the toys, cool, just take them over there. I'm trying to sleep." I literally mentally stand up and say that. It works, right?
Mm-hmm. It
And
does.
they hear you because that's how they speak. And even though I can't hear them very well, so far all I can hear is my spirit guide and a little bit from the crystals and a little bit from in the dream world. Just a little bit, right? But I can hear Xena perfectly clear, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but she's not a ghost.
no, she's
She's
not
your
a ghost.
guide.
And well,
It's weird. They do have ghosts have a different frequency, if you will,
yeah,
than a guide does.
yeah. It's like the guides talk your language that you understand,
Mm-hmm.
along with the feelings and the emotions that go along with it. Like they speak to
Yeah.
you like a total interface, not like we're talking. We have audio visual, right? I mean, aside from the Crystal Network, this is for the audience, right? We have audio visual right now. We're talking that way.
Right.
Though I don't know how your arm feels, so to speak, right? I don't
You
know.
must know something. My arm hurts.
I said aside from the Crystal Network.
It
I didn't
does.
know.
It's giving me some hassle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hope
No, not to
I.
worry. It's something that comes and goes.
Okay, well, yeah, it's funny how I picked out arm.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked a. It just that's the Crystal Network people. That's what
Now, here's the 50-50 question for you. Which one?
I'm gonna say. Left arm. That was my first. No,
Nope, you
see,
missed it.
see, it's not. You said
It's
yeah.
okay though. I'm looking into a mirror sort of arrangement with this camera. So,
Okay, hold on. Hold up your left arm. See, to me, that's my right arm. You're mirrored.
hmm
No, wait a minute. No, you're mirrored to me, my perspective. Okay, so technically, I was right. Literally, I was incorrect.
yeah, well, okay. I'll let you
Okay.
have
Well,
it.
yeah.
It's something that I burned this arm quite badly in my 20s.
Hmm,
Neighbor kid decided that a box of Pampers on a gas stove would be a great idea. And I saw it through my kitchen window, ran across the street, ran into their house, and grabbed the box. That was the wrong thing to do. I got second-degree burns all the way up the right arm. So I have scar problems. So one of those things.
yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, but getting back to what we were, saying.
That's funny though that you caught on to that.
Right. I just thought arm, how your arm feels. I don't know. I could have said every body part that you're sitting in a chair, how your back feels, how your neck feels. I picked arm.
No, fine.
That's Crystal Network, okay?
Yes.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the audio visual, and I don't know how your arm hurts. I don't know the specific sensations.
No, but you
That's what
weren't thinking about that either.
well, I don't know if I have enough of a connection to get that, but spirit guides do.
Yeah.
Spirit guides have that kind of connection. It's I don't know, a total mental plug-in, like,
hmm
Neuralink?
Well, when I do a tarot reading, my first question to the individual is, may my guide have permission to speak to yours in regards to this reading? You
Mhm.
know, and then I know I'm going to get the straight of it. And but they have to give permission because that guide will not step outside that parameter.
Right. That's something I now not in regards to tarot card readings, but when somebody's having problems and I see they're having problems with whatever, and
hmm
I would ask my guide, "Hey, could you go tip off their guides, tell them to do better or something?" Nothing specific, right? I would just say, "Hey, could you go talk to their people?" So, I mean, I know they're not part of
Send
my
your people to talk to their people so that they
right,
can
and
find
I
their way out of it.
yeah, and I don't know if they're resentful of that because when I asked her, I sent her. I don't send her anywhere. She does what she
Yeah,
wants.
I was going to say.
Yeah, when I
Good luck with that.
to go over to Maria's, she turned into a poltergeist over there. But I don't know. That's a mismatch of communication.
Right.
Over here, I expect it, and she's like kid gloves, but I know what she's doing. Over there,
hmm
it is unexpected, not her guide. She's doing she's helping me by helping her. You know what I mean? And,
Trying to anyway.
right.
Yeah, but
Like
that's one
my
of the
dog is
reasons
very
why
attached
you
to my dog.
ask for it.
Right. My dog asked me to come over to talk to your dog. She hates when I talk about us as pets. But I don't know how to put it. Um, but she doesn't
Well,
like
when you do your prayers and you of course you pray for the people in your circle. At least I do. And I keep it very open ended because I don't want to direct the show. I don't want to be that person that asks the Almighty for retribution or any of that. I don't want karma that's attached to that. But
right. Oh,
I will always ask for your best interests. You know, and anybody who's in my circle, you know, I ask for love, protection, guidance, you know, navigating life, because we all need help, somewhere or another.
Taking care of an administrative thing that I should have
That's fine.
done before.
But
Sorry.
we're just doing the best we can with it all. Um, People assume that people who are psychic know everything. No, they don't. They know highlights, particularly if we're talking about another individual's life. Um, they think the tarot is what's talking. It's not. It's your guides. It's your guide, my guide, having a little tea and chatting over things and what could
Yep.
be done better.
Staff
You
meeting.
know, coffee, yeah,
Coffee staff meeting.
and when you look at these things in a more mundane way, they are much less intimidating. And asking a guardian, your own guardian, for a hand here and there, it's not outside the realm of well, it's perfectly loyal.
Okay,
It's right inside the rules.
for the audience, when we ask for help in a mundane way, we mean we're meditating and talking to our spirit guide. That
Yes.
can kind of scare people. When you know what? When the voices come into my head, I try to identify who they are. I don't get scared. I don't think I'm crazy. I'm like, who are you? Really? Show me some ID, boy. No. But
Exactly.
I am
No,
not.
and you should test all spirits.
Hmm.
You really
Right.
should.
And
You know.
investigate and debunk, because there is a bunch of people right now who are having hearing voices as a problem, and
No.
a bunch of them are on meds. They're all of them that I know of are younger, and the one that I'm thinking of, he is on meds because his dad told me. I think I went over this last week. His dad told me he hears meds, don't talk about it, and I talked to him about it, but he was like, "Hey, I don't talk about it. It doesn't help." I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't look at this like you look at it, dude, but okay, your dad."
Yeah.
It turns out his voices. I did get a couple of sentences out of him, right? His voices are telling him uh, they're his own internal dialogue of self doubt, of
Mm-hmm.
being a little insecure kid that doesn't know.
That happens.
Yeah, and we all have an internal dialogue of
Mm-hmm.
some sort,
It's true.
whether it's our reflection on our own feelings or we're literally hearing it in words. And sometimes it's our voice, sometimes it's like, I don't know, if you're a little kid, maybe it's Megatron telling you you suck, you know, the bad guy, Darth Vader saying, "You will never become a Jedi," and all, or whatever, okay?
Yeah, and that scares the hell out of a kid. I think
Right.
a lot of parents, and I'm just gonna put this and leave it. Uh, Kids are very literal minded until they're about 10, 11, 12 years old, in the sense that everything is real to them, and their mind sees it as real. It's like hearing go bot go at the top of your stairs and catching your kid on the second bounce. I
Hmm.
have done this. You know, Everything is quite real to them. It isn't until they're a bit older that they begin to realize that these fantasy worlds that are created through movies and television, sometimes radio, are fantasy. They are not real. And if you ever had dialogue with a child whose main thing is like GoBot, it is quite real to them.
Okay,
So you need to
disclaimer. Sorry, disclaimer: the poor kids had GoBots. I was a poor kid. The rich kids all had Transformers.
Oh man, we are on tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, had to
Anyway,
make that disclaimer.
my point is, be very discerning what you allow your child to see, because
Yes.
he or she can literally be traumatized by something they see on television. Many times the news will upset them greatly. So, it's not to say, keep them in a bubble. It means have a care of what you let them see.
Right. Yeah.
Now, for little voices in one's head, I've had voices since I was a small child. Some of it was internal dialogue. But when you identify who that voice is, you'll know then who's bothering this kid or this young adult. It could be a disapproving adult, and that voice is being used in their head.
hmm
Psychology is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And when kids need to be told in another way what their parents or whatever teacher, they use the voices that are familiar to them,
Hmm.
cartoons. And um hey, welcome back, Scream Engine. Glad you could make it. We're going over some spiritual, psychic, psionic things that happen to people,
Hmm.
right? And uh that's what we're going over. And I was just saying that little kids use familiar voices. Like
Hmm.
I was using Captain America, Spider-Man, and G.I. Joe, right?
Sure.
And I would,
Some kids use Star Wars.
some kids use, and later I used Yoda, Obi-Wan, Luke Skywalker, and
Sure.
the bad guys were all like Darth Vader, and I could never. I see. I saw the original Star Wars, and when I saw the Emperor, he was badly AI done. Right? It was
Hmm.
like not very good. The remake was better of the Emperor
Hmm.
because it was like some weird alien face that made no sense, and I was like, "What is that? Is that supposed to be talking?" It's just like rah 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 rah, and I was like, "What in the
Yeah, yeah. A lot of kids
what in the
like that.
Bollywood is this?"
What we don't
Even if
understand with all of this is kids' creativity is in full force by the time they're 5. And
mhm,
that creativity is going full blast well into their 20s, maybe 30s. You
mhm,
know, if we're lucky, it's still going full blast by the time they're 20. And these are the ones who are the writers, the sculptors, the painters. So squelching that creativity, scary,
mhm,
real scary. Although some children may need that very thing.
yeah. Um, but that and kids are taught not to be psychic, right? They are naturally they are, but
Yes, they are.
when they tell Muggle mom, Muggle dad about this stuff, oh, you're imagining things. You have this isn't real. You're hearing it in your head. You're just making stuff up. You're bored. Go play with your Legos. Watch Barney or not. I know that's not what they do now. Now it's like get on TikTok, go play with your iPhone, and
How is that? I'll tell you that little machine and children do not mix.
mm-mm. Especially if it has 911 access. Oh my gosh.
No, you're telling me my
Oh.
granddaughter, my granddaughter got a hold of an old iPhone, and I don't know what this kid was thinking, if she was thinking at all, maybe. But, you know, somehow or another, that 911 kept getting pressed.
Mm,
And about 2, 3 in the morning, her folks get a little knocky at the door, open up and say, "We didn't call. Somebody here did." you know. And she was mad. She wasn't allowed to go to her girlfriend's that night. So she was playing with the phone. I think what she didn't realize was 911 was the only thing outgoing in
It
that
was the
phone.
big red button in the middle. Yeah.
Hmm.
It was the big red button that is so appealing and so colorful and dramatic for a kid.
Yeah.
And that I have a story like that. Years and years ago, before the show, I was doing chat room stuff, talking about,
Hmm.
the weird stuff in chat rooms. And a friend of mine, I believe it was even ICQ Messenger. See how far back I go, right? I know that's pretty far back. It was in the days of MySpace, but I believe it might have been ICQ Messenger. And this person I knew who I had made friends with, their 8-year-old had gotten on their computer and was
Oh
talking
boy.
all kinds of trash to me. And I'm like, trying to talk to them like I know the person, not that someone has hijacked their account. It was just their kid got on the computer, and I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to unfriend you now." Um, and they were like, "What?" And went all gamer, "F you, F you, F you," and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Unfriend. And Raven, your stuff is not connected. Are you going? Raven is coming in.
There she
I,
is.
I believe
There's
she is
somebody.
Hi,
audio
can you hear
only.
me
There you
okay?
are. Yeah, I can hear you. Can't see you.
Yeah, I'll have my camera on just a minute. I had to turn it off because I've got to change. I just got spillage, catastrophe.
Okay.
I got
Catastrophe.
it.
Yeah. So
All
just give
right.
me a minute and I'll have the thing on. I didn't want
Okay.
to hang
Well,
up in the midstream because it was starting to connect. So I just let the connection go on through rather than
All right.
hang up.
okay. But Monty, a few minutes ago,
Huh? Monty.
Monty in the chat room says this. It must be on Twitter because I'm not looking at any of my social media.
Uh-oh.
But this sounds like it's not okay. Can y'all read that?
Do
Can
you
y'all
need
read
me to
that?
Yep.
do you need me to ban somebody?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no. Monty he's a
Monty is
moderator.
a moderator.
Monty has clearance. He has
okay.
he has proven himself quantum. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I don't. Everybody's behaving. I mean, we're the hammer time people here. We're all and we're good.
No,
But
it's all
yeah,
good. That's
it,
funny.
yeah.
I'm not thrilled with any of that particular individual's
He's
nonsense.
he's a troll. He was trolling people. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
he knew it would get a rise out of the people. And when you look at him at the Cybertruck, look at him at the unveilings of the Cybertruck,
Do I have?
the robot. He is a big crowd pleasing goofball, right? He's all showmanship and and oh, he
Well, that would be
pleases
fine if he knew how.
right, right, but throwing curveballs like that, like my heart goes out to you thing, right? That was he knew better than that. He knew better than that. Well, I think that I don't know about that, but he's definitely
I think
there's
Monty
something.
may be onto something.
Well, there's something to that, but um oh, well, I can tie this into this, right?
Oh yeah.
Because okay, I don't think the official stance of the quantum show is now, I don't know what y'all think, right? But nobody in the government is a lizard. Nobody in the government is an alien trying to overthrow population. It is not that. That is not what's happening. That is my official stance. Okay, feel free to disagree, right? But that is my official stance. Nobody's trying to take us over, like that dude in Twitter Spaces said. The hybrid Raven, you're gonna love this.
Okay.
There was a dude in Twitter Spaces. Amy was talking with him. He just showed up, right? And Amy was talking to him, and he said basically the hybrid program,
Hmm.
right,
Yeah.
is a means to take over planet Earth. And I'm like, no, no, no. To
I
make
think if they
to
wanted us, they would have done it long before now. Certainly
right,
before we
and
became
Oh yeah.
anything like
but
a
he wasn't right. He was not part.
industrialized.
What he described, he was not part of the hybrid program. He was part of the abduction sample collection program, right?
Okay.
Now that's not our
What
program. We didn't
samples did they collect?
physical. He had all the, according to him. Now this is just what I remember. You, by the way, you cannot record uh Twitter Spaces unless you're doing something like this, right? And you bring it up on screen and you have all that stuff piped over. And um but he was saying that the hybrid program is a means to replace us and take over the planet. And I'm like, hold on a second. That is not, no, okay, no. And it sounds like the people he was in contact with were the abduction sample collection squad, okay, not the hybrid squad. They were
Right.
the, like, my little hybridization encounter was nothing like that. I've told it on here. It was
Right.
not, they're stealing my DNA, they're stealing my tissue samples. Nothing like that. Uh his was, they were. Well, that's not, that's abduction squad, right? Not hybrid squad. The hybrid people, they don't, okay, they learned a long time ago that if you take something by force, it is tainted. If it is convinced to give willingly, it is pure. In any respect. I'm not gonna go there, right? But if you like, this is kind of gross, so I'm not going to get into it. But he was not describing the hybrid people, right? He was describing the abduction people. He
Uh-huh.
was like he was one of the tigers that got selected for taking, forcefully sample and put back, and they don't care. That's not all of them, right? That's not all of. And he said that you got something going on over there, Raven. Something like right next to the microphone.
I was just turning the volume up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Samo, were you there? He meant to evolve humans to their next level, DNA upgrades. Were you there in that Twitter Spaces? Because I follow Amy, and when she pops up, I
Thank
try to go
you.
see her. And that's how I listen. And I, you know what? I can read the tweets I sent Amy. I'm not going to show the screen because, well, I don't have permission to do that for her tweets. But let me refresh my memory here.
Well,
And
we've proven over time that when we're in a decent frame of mind, our chemistry is much different than it is if we're in combat mode. You know, so I
right,
can
monkey brain.
appreciate, I can appreciate the difference between collecting a sample from somebody who's
Willing or
willing or
versus
someone who's very, very upset with what's
right,
going on.
under in duress.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, listen. Okay, here's what I said. Listening to this guy talk about the hybrid program, we will become third-rate citizens. BS. And I go on to say, we are protected, and also we are very strong, scary to them even. Oh, he said he felt like he was being sedated. And I say, he said sedated. I agree with that. To keep up to keep us non-threatening to them as we normally are, stronger. I mean manifestation.
That might
Okay.
actually work for some psychics, but
Right.
it doesn't work for others.
Right. That's why they classify us and they put us in their little boxes like, go see this guy, he's harmless. Don't go see this guy, he will rip you to shreds. Or you will
Just
not
using his
survive.
mind.
Right, because they have a Jedi mind or whatever,
Hmm.
right? And not he's saying it was a takeover. And I said, fear, his fear has gripped him bad.
Oh yeah.
And he said, she asked him about, have you ever heard of Melinda Leslie? Of course he has not. He may be part of a line of hybrids, meaning a certain group. It's got to be
Genre,
it's a complicated program.
no
And
doubt.
right. And I said, if he's not a paranoid schizophrenic, he's vastly misinterpreting things he is seeing. Because he was leading with fear. Now, spiritual hybridization is not what he thinks it is, not breeding. Okay, spiritual hybridization, matter, energy, interchangeable, right? Right? Matter,
Right.
energy, interchangeable. Okay, now that means I could take this piece of matter that I have in my hand, scan it, send it over somewhere, and make another one almost just like it. Or I could take it and incorporate it into a different document. That is technically hybridization. Okay.
Right.
That now becomes a hybrid document. Energy equivalent to matter. Well, they don't need the physical, they just need the spiritual and the energetic blueprint. That's spiritualism. That's just it, right? And they don't need to take us physically like we need to take an actual lion. They don't need to do that. They can scan a lion,
Hmm.
or they can scan us. They can look at our energy patterns. That's the kind of advancement. That's consciousness. Tim, who's afraid of consciousness? Not me. The government maybe, because they don't understand. They don't know how to push a button to manipulate it. Sorry, I'm getting on a high horse, but I'm going through these right. Spiritual hybrid. Mhm.
Samo is saying that with regards to half the population, the more advanced we get, the more it dumbs us down.
Right. Well, we're
I'm
talking.
wondering if half of the population's being looked at and the other half's not, or is also for a different reason.
Well, this technology, we call it high. It's not high tech. Okay, this is material tech. All right. You know
Hmm.
what is high tech? This.
That,
High tech.
yeah, I knew you were going to reach for the crystal.
Hell yeah, you knew it
I
because you knew it
So,
because
knew
you're on
it. Well,
network.
I'm on it.
so
Yeah.
I have a question, Nathan. What is your interpretation of this hybrid program? And do you think it's possible that there are two different hybrid programs going on? One
You
that's
know what?
authentic and it has to do with the Greys and they're needing help to reproduce because they screwed everything up trying to be more non-emotional and all that. And then there's this government. What is the point of the government's uh, hybridization? What
Okay. Yes, there are plenty of hybrid programs because you know what? It's a big galaxy out there, and there are lots of people going on about this stuff. We don't know about them all. What the government wants is super soldiers, MK Ultra. Okay, that has been
um,
my
That's
stance.
what I was going to say.
yeah,
The
okay,
government,
okay.
now that's our government wanting MK Ultra, right? Look at the 20 and back program. Look at
Well,
there's
they're organizing for Mars.
that's hold on.
Oh, that's a yeah.
let's move. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm not talking. That brings in Elon, and I want to keep Elon on the sidelines for now, right?
Okay.
Um, now and now the Greys, they seem to be needing to perpetuate their own species, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if some of the Greys are um, massively advanced humans or not, or humans from somewhere else that evolved parallel to us. It's just it's there's a lot of possibilities there, right? Because when you're talking about divergent evolution, parallel evolution, because there was who said it? Somebody said it that uh bringing up an old point. Speaking of divergent evolution, okay, that we are who we are because we were altered by the Anunnaki. And what
Right.
we would have become are what we perceive as Bigfoot,
Right.
interdimensional beings. Now, what if there was another breed of human that was evolved somewhere else in a whole different set of circumstances,
I
right?
want to say that was Keith.
Well, no, that wasn't Keith. That was Keith might have actually. I think he did. He did say that. Keith did say that, but somebody else said it in different words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, Keith said that, and and they're like they are really what you would call ultra terrestrial. They came with the Earth, right? They just it's a different evolutionary path. We were made to stay on the 3D, right? Locked up in this matrix. By the way, the matrix is real, but they're all in it together. We're all in the same matrix, right? And okay, so if the Greys are humans from another divergent timeline, from a different environment, because humans evolved from their environment, okay, and uh, I mean, people in cold climates have lighter skin. People in hot climates, sunny climates have darker skin. People have this trait, that trait,
Pardon?
extra, protection against the sun when they're on their eyes, etc. Right?
Right.
Different. It's evolution, right? And that's just traits of the environment. There's a trait lately. I didn't think I would ever be bringing this up, but Gen Z, millennials and Gen Z have a trait because of this, right? That trait is now you can Google this, look it up. I'm not making it up. There's a tendon that is formed on a bone spur back on the back of the head, and it goes down to the middle of their back, and it has come up as a trait so they can do
Really?
this and have more support for their necks.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That is a real evolutionary step. That is, it's real. I don't have a link for it. I hope somebody comes up with a link. Mods, look at that. Look at that. Look that up for me, okay? I can't really do anything because it'll mess up the stream. Y'all will hear me typing and cussing and like, oh, come on, go.
It's all sorts of wordy dirts, huh?
Yeah, I would just be like, mm.
And
But
I read that some of them have been born with 3 strands of DNA. There was a child born in in London.
I need a link. I need.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm trying
somebody.
to
Now,
remember if it was somebody talking about it or if I. Oh, it's been a while.
are we talking about Bigfoot or what? Or
No,
just human beings?
just this newest generation and how they're
Oh,
automatically somehow just understand technology and how this one guy was saying, yeah, I couldn't believe my 2-year-old knew his way around my laptop better than me. Because they're
yeah.
just like have a predisposition towards the technology.
Right.
I think there's something to that because Storm's kids can went right straight to computer. At 2 years old, the one had climbed up on Grandpa's lap and turned on his computer and was playing games. Knew just exactly what to do.
Right. Okay. Let me
She-
go to the chat a little bit. We were talking about all this stuff.
Oh, there
Okay,
you
we got-
There
are.
you go. Okay. This-
and
Good
I was
to see you.
Here we go.
Sam
Okay.
was saying copy the original. I was going through this, saying if I scan this and put it in something else, it becomes a hybrid document. Yeah. And Samo also said to evolve us humans down a different timeline in case something happens where we originals won't be able to survive it. Possibly we're the master copies, like we're the unaltered copies, maybe. And Human says, I wouldn't say I don't even know what this says yet. I wouldn't say it's pure consciousness, agree to disagree, but I think there is a genetic memory factor that plays into awakening. Yes, I agree with that.
I do
There is
too.
there's so much junk DNA that is being reactivated and we don't know. And all of a sudden we're starting to, I don't know, be able to have crystal networks and
Well, and
do all this
understand
stuff.
that you can even have a crystal network.
Yeah.
50 years ago, if we had said something like that, we'd got locked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Well, the human
Oh.
brain is silicon dioxide, and that's exactly what is the components of a
Right.
quartz crystal.
Yeah, and there's
So it
also
only makes sense that they work well together.
yeah, and concurrent evolution or on an interdimensional scale. Yeah, I was talking about us and Bigfoot. And now several people have said we are the altered ones, Bigfoot is the natural ones.
Right.
That we were the ones meant to mine gold. Bigfoot, they just left them alone. And let me
Yeah.
see here. What else?
Well,
But they
maybe they
somehow
just couldn't
eluded
catch
them.
them.
Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Yeah. They
Right.
just didn't catch
Well,
them.
I mean,
or maybe they were the ones that got away, or they just
Yeah.
needed a small percentage, and well, they become us.
And
well,
here's
I
another
think,
thing about
yeah.
the difference between Bigfoot and humans is that they live a long time. And somebody screwed around with our second chromosome and shortened the telomeres on there so that we only live, barely. Some
Time
of us
limit.
make it over 100, but most of us croak out before then.
Yeah, there's a time limit on our
Yeah.
thing. I just bought a movie, and it's really hard to watch because it's like really artsy fartsy. But what's it called? Hold on, let me grab it.
Well, with that very thing, though, Raven, I agree with you that our DNA was monkeyed with, if you forgive the
Yeah.
pun, and I believe that that those things actually, that's not a stretch for us anymore. It was considered absolute dross when Stitchin was
This one,
looking at all of that, but it's not. It's become part of our reality.
right? I
Mr.
tried to watch
Nobody.
Mr. Nobody, and look at who it is. Jared Leto,
Who's that?
the Joker, one of the Jokers.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Jared Leto, yeah. Mr. Nobody. This is a deep sci-fi movie. When I say deep sci-fi, I mean like the core and
Was
not
that
like
one of? No, I guess it was the Brutalists that gathered an Oscar nod.
I don't know that one. But when
I'm going to write that one down.
sci-fi,
Mr. Nobody.
this is
How old is
this
it?
is I want to say like it's not old. 2006.
Okay. Is more recent?
2000 what?
6, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
sorry, 2013.
Dude,
But it's Mr. Nobody with Jared Leto.
dude, it's 2024. It's got a little time on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1991 was like 10 years ago, but Mr. Nobody, they were talking about the telomeres and how they figured out how to scientifically extend life by rejuvenating telomeres. And it's like, really? First of
Mhm.
all these science fiction things, they have no weird factor at all. These people who write these movies, they have no weird factor at all. I mean, come on, give me just a little bit of the X-Men, okay? Or Ghost Whisperer or something Scooby Doo, even. Come on,
Well, I don't
not
know.
make it totally. It's only nuts and bolts all the time ever. Oh no,
Though, as hysterical as people have become over it, it is a sort of hysteria. It's not surprising. They're just trying to keep it to the vex, man. you know.
well, you know, every movie maker, not all of them are propaganda. Okay, every movie maker has a vision of a movie,
Right.
right? And they put what they know into the creation, and I understand that, but that's okay. Where we come in, we know there's the veil. There's things that come in and we go out. We don't know what's over there all the time. Reality is not hard and knowable and quantifiable
Right.
because you have good luck, bad luck, gut feelings, all that stuff. And these people don't take that into account. But this particular movie was told in a very artsy fartsy, hard to follow way. It is deep sci-fi, like Lord of the Rings trilogy movies are high fantasy. Okay, I mean this is like Blade Runner esque stuff, vintage classic deep sci-fi, and
hmm
you got to really have a mind for it. And y'all, it has been an hour. So
Must
I
be
need
coffee
to.
time.
It is coffee time. Amy is yelling at me from in her spirit cup, right?
Fill me, fill me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking
Okay,
at. I'm gonna have to go. I'm still going over chat room stuff, but
that sounded vaguely obscene. Oh well,
Say what?
we're
never
covered.
mind.
I'll be back. Coffee time.
Okay.
I'm giving Nathan the jazz here. Well, we'd like to say hi to all of our moderators. We got a couple here: Samo, Tim, Aussie Tiger, Monty, Storm, and of course a lot of folks. Got a couple of newbies. The Z.
Yeah. Easy.
And
Eric.
glad to see you back, Scream Engine.
Mm.
And there's Human Jim. And I'm sure Sarah's lurking around there somewhere. And
Trying to get over here to the chat.
yeah,
Okay, there we go. I've got
there's
my
quite a
laptop
few.
here for me. Now I can see the
Lot
chat.
of participation. Sure appreciate that.
Mhm.
And Samo, of course. Always glad to see Samo. He keeps a good order in our house.
Mhm.
Doesn't let anybody break the furniture or throw vases. Appreciate that.
I,
And
I'm
please,
liking what Human Jim had to say about consciousness. That there's a genetic memory factor that plays into this awakening, which I agree. I was just reading something about that yesterday. And it says, I say that because it's hard to say if any genetic body can function as legacy hardware for their energy, so to speak. And they were talking about how radiation affects our DNA in this show
right,
I watched, the video, and how there are certain things that are like asleep right now that then when the body has a prolonged exposure to radiation, those dormant pieces of DNA turn on all of a sudden, and
yeah,
they are able then to initiate,
function in the way that they were intended.
yeah, and restore and alter some of the cells in the body so that one can uh, adapt to the new radiation level. It's just amazing. DNA is just so amazing. And what they can do with lasers. I remember David Wilcock talking about some experiments where they took eggs of, was it a duck? duck to chickens is what it was. Okay. They
Mhm.
had eggs, and they ran some DNA of a duck through a laser beam into those eggs, and those eggs, even though they were chicken eggs, ended up hatching as ducks. Yeah, and they
So
did
it
this several
rearranged
times.
the DNA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then they've hermetically sealed water and ran and taken a laser beam through something organic, and then into the water all the way through, and then that water has DNA in it, even though it was completely, sterile,
Well,
just through light.
I
You
really
know.
think that our DNA was monkeyed with to start with, in order that we not become so strong that we overcome our captors. And I also think that they only wanted us to live a certain time because we get so smart. I mean, look at us when if we're continue to live and learn well into our 60s, 70s, 80s. Uh, we know so much more. Now there's a few people out there that figure they know it all by the time they're 20. But an intelligent person continues to learn. And you set up a situation where you have basically forced labor. You're going to have resentment from that from human beings. In fact, the human beings are notoriously rebellious and can get
Okay.
ugly fast. And I think
Hmm.
the Anunnaki and Nephilim and all of those figured that out awfully fast.
Yeah. I read somewhere that the whole Tower of Babel, that's what that was about. Why they
Hmm.
then struck it down and confused the languages so that we couldn't communicate well and bond together because
There
we were
you
getting
are.
so powerful.
Yeah, and the vision is still being used to keep us from joining our hands and
Yes.
becoming as good as we can be.
Hmm.
Right. You know what? I resist that division here because, for one quantum reason, aliens are not demons.
You know.
I checked. They're not demons. Not. Someone in the first hour said, "Are they fallen angels?" I'm like,
No.
"No, I don't think so. I think that's a big misinterpretation." She said she would come back, but I haven't seen her. That's okay. I might not have seen her in the chat yet, but
I haven't. We went back and took a look, and we haven't seen her.
okay.
That's a pity because I think she learned something here. Maybe alleviate some of the fear factor. And a
Right.
lot of people out there are just getting. They're just like geese trying to feed up for foie gras, or foie gras. How's it said? The goose liver pate. Okay,
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
and
Gagwa.
they're being fed fear to keep them in line.
right. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Oh my god. Look at the mainstream.
Yeah.
But I still want to go through the chat because our chat is awesome. Our chat people are awesome. And
Yes.
Scream Engine, this is going back in a little bit. Oh, let me go back. Sliders. That's talks. I remember that show. I love that show. Um I remember Sliders. Alternate realities. They would jump. It was like Quantum Leap, right? Except it was
Uh,
one time.
It was
It
timely. It was timelines,
well,
wasn't it?
well, no, not timelines, realities.
Oh,
Quantum
okay.
Leap was timelines, right?
Right, right.
Sliders was the same time, different reality, like reality jumping, right? I got to finally. I was stuck in a car with my mom for 2 hours, right? I say stuck. I spent quality time,
Yeah.
and um I was talking about alternate reality jumping. It's happened to me, and I witnessed things, and I told her, I said all about it, and it was like, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember sliders. And then Scream Engine comes with grays are genetic avatars that resemble a little bit of everyone in the galaxy, I believe. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Maybe.
Biomechanical genetic avatar. I believe that. He also
Hmm.
says junk DNA, I think, is a fragmented hard drive, slowly being defragged as we increase in intelligence. Enter it's not aliens, it's worse. Jared Phillips, I believe his name is. He says that the more of us there are, the we're like RAM. The more of us they are that we are, the more the data gets interpreted and brought to the surface as primary instead of backup. Right? Right now, he says we're in safe mode. We don't have quantum link as a primary. We have it as a secondary, right? Um, quantum link cannot kill most of us because the genetic, physical defends us against that. But it can't hurt us. It can also not advance us
Right.
because it is in backup. It is in storage. It is in uh, secondary memory. But the more of us there are, the more it brings to the surface the backups. So we have more processing power on our psychic web that we all
Yeah,
have.
our collective.
Right.
And maybe that's why they want to depopulate us.
Right. They don't want us.
If they do, they may not.
Could you imagine manifestation on this on like everyone was able to manifest like those stage magicians?
Yeah,
They couldn't stop they couldn't rule us.
right.
No.
We would be totally rebellious. Okay, so
No. And we're
Scream
kind of
Engine.
on the cusp of learning those things.
Yeah,
We're very close.
right. And I
And
think that's
if we do, they're in serious trouble.
Yeah.
yeah, and
And let's hope that we do. Otherwise, we're going to be cyborgs.
Well, we're going to be in serious trouble anyway.
well that will keep us down, believe it or not.
Chicken of
That will
space.
keep us
Those that aren't killed off
tied.
will end up being victims of the transhumanism.
We'll be
Yeah.
right. They'll be tied to this stuff, and this will no longer
Well,
become
we're
this.
kind of close to that now, don't you think?
Yeah,
Well, I'm not plugged into it. You know,
Me
we're
either.
some people want to be, but okay.
Well,
Um,
okay. Can you leave home without it?
I can. I don't
I
want to,
can. Yeah, I have.
but I can. I've forgotten my phone from time to time, but
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. They're getting us hooked on it. Instant communication, instant this. I always need to have communicate. I always need somebody to call. Whoa, find a payphone. Good luck. Right, I
Yeah.
got you.
You can't. I mean, if I can understand it, I went without one for a very long time, and Storm has had one pretty much for the last 15 years.
Yeah,
And he finally said, "Listen, if I want to call you for any reason, I want to be able to get you. You know, I
yeah.
want you to be safe too.
Right.
I
We
need you to have the phone."
right. The phone is a good. It has good qualities to it, but mind slavery is a bad quality. Right. Instant
Mhm.
brain chemical bursts from TikTok is a bad quality. And ZZ, welcome to the chat. Sorry I didn't get to your question for almost half an hour. He says, look at our buildings and art of just 100 years ago. I think these viruses are messing with our remaining DNA. I think it's the viruses, the jabs, and the food we're eating
Hmm.
is keeping
Well,
us messed up, keeping us
Hmm.
down. And it's you know what? You know who's defeating all that? We are here in the quantum show. We're the ones manifesting, keeping our stuff going, right? And that's the kind of thing it takes. We manifest
well,
against it. They're trying to keep us down, trying to keep us corralled. But you know what? I'm going to color outside the lines. I'm not going to be corralled. Okay. I will call the aliens any damn time I want to. I will I will talk to Bigfoot any damn time I want to. I will go hug a tree any damn time I want to. Right? They're not going to keep me from my quantum networks. Okay, I'm still going through the chat because our chat is awesome. Well, again, welcome to the show,
There's a lot
ZZZ.
of good thought in that chat room tonight. Lots of it.
Yeah.
It
What were
it
we
is
just
a
saying?
circumstances right now can be fought against somewhat. You know, on a personal level, you can eat as pure as you can, but it's going to cost you. You
Right.
know, organics do cost, and being able to go ahead and have a lovely grass-fed uh, beef is nice, but at $10 a pound or better, I can't afford it. So they're making it outside the reach of the common individual.
But if you believe in prayer and you bless your food, you can take all of those things out.
Atta
You know,
girl.
make it.
Right.
I always say when, please, Mother Goddess, bless this food. Please uh, replace. How do I say that? Please replace anything that is genetically modified, hormonally altered, or in any way icky, and replace it with light, love, and nutrition, whatever nutrition my body is in need of at this
Yeah.
time. Thank you.
I
Okay.
used to catch a lot of crap over that, but I pray over my food. I do.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
it's a good way to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disclaimer for the chat. If you're going to use the word icky, you better know what you're doing. You better know. You better be on the ball.
But
If you're gonna
icky
use-
just covers everything I didn't say.
right.
You know,
If
it's
you're going to use the word icky,
genetically modified,
better know what
hormonally altered.
that is a highly mystical word. Don't mess with it.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's
delete button.
icky. Damn it,
Icky.
it's icky.
You better know what you're doing if you're going to use the high strangeness words.
Yeah.
You heard it here on the Morning Show.
Highfalutin words. We got them here. All right, George. We've
Yeah.
got this under control.
And
Anyway.
let's look down here. Human Jim. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get to the chat. This is why RC Overlander got so mad at us. Got so mad at me. You take 20 minutes to get to the chat. I'm like, internet lag, buddy. Get a different show. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna look a lot better when there's a couple hundred in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be harder for us to see that sort of thing.
Right. I mean, internet lag. I'm not worried about him. He was a troll after all. He
Well,
never would come on the
Eric's
show.
sort of right and sort of not. The Jews made their food kosher with ritualistic prayers. Yes. Now finish the job. There are certain foods that are not eaten. Pigs come to mind. Bottom feeding fish.
Okay.
And that sort of thing wouldn't be eaten. But otherwise, you know, you take a regular mundaner cow and give it the once over with the kosher prayers, and you got a kosher beef.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, let me catch up to his stuff. I'm like half an hour. I'm 20 something minutes behind, right? And because I don't want to skip anybody in the chat because we're on
course.
fire. We're on quantum fire. I need a sign for that. It makes
and
sense.
welcome Leslie.
Who's here?
It's a new Leslie.
Okay. Well, I am at the top of the chat, y'all. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm going through. Right. It makes
You've
sense.
had a minute. Now get on with it.
We're manipulated in some way. We develop back and hip problems as we grow. That's an issue many crossbreed species have. Yes. Right. It was put into us, and unfortunately, we were made like this. I really don't know why. I don't know enough about it to be able to say anything about it. But yeah, I have noticed that we were made to. First of all, we were made to run at low medium, because if we were running full speed, everybody would act like they're on meth, but have sense about it. right? That's like extra high speed or cocaine.
Hopefully, anyway.
Right. That's what. Oh, we just ran somebody off by saying the M word. Oh, okay. But we're designed to run at medium speed.
I believe
Coffee,
this Leslie is somebody you may know, Nathan.
possibly. I'm getting
I'm
there.
almost positive you do. I'm sure of it.
Okay,
It
I'm getting
feels
there.
that way.
Okay, Samo is saying, if we live on Mars and evolve, we will have bigger eyes and heads, so the swelling from liquid in our eyes to be able to see more of the spectrum. We get that with glasses and and satellites and stuff like that. HV,
I look funny enough as it is.
well, we are a product of our environment. If we live in a dark environment, y'all have heard of Bat Boy from the
Yeah.
tabloids. He was
course.
evolved. They call him Bat Boy because that's the way bats evolved. Okay, so yeah, and we were just talking about telomeres. Yeah, we were, and I brought up the Mr. Nobody movie. It incorporates that, and along with what dude was saying up top, and then ZZ was saying the veil. Yeah, we're familiar with the veil. We're on this side of it, and sometimes we go over there, and sometimes it comes over here. And then yeah, that was coffee time. See how far back I am? Coffee time was like 20 minutes ago. um Samo, I think this is talking about the hybridization. Most of all, they want us to be cold blooded, maybe have gills as well, but a thicker scalar skin. I don't remember what we were talking about, but okay. And then Eric, welcome to the show, Eric. CRISPR or telomeres, right? CRISPR, genetic manipulation using technology. And then I was talking about where we all evolved from environmentally, right? Light skin burns easily, black back problems and muscle weakness. White people are Martian, not Irish. Okay, I don't know. That sounds planetist. That sounds
Oh
very
no, my
planetist.
mother will be very disappointed to hear that. You know.
And Scream Engine loves hearing y'all talk when I'm not here. Well, that's why
Well, thank you.
that's great. Great. Yeah, get this long haired dude with the coffee out of here. I want to hear them. I want to hear them too. Not this mess
It,
Scream.
I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Oh
No,
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 not at all. Wouldn't do that to you, Nathan.
I know,
no.
but no. I mean, I'm a certain way, and y'all are a certain way, and well, they're different ways. So cool. We're working on segments.
Yeah, but we blend very well, and we know that you're not there. That's why we cut up when you're not here.
Right.
Oh, I couldn't agree more here with this statement.
ZZ is
Yeah.
saying, I think the spiritual realms and the religions like Gnosticism were buried with time for a reason. Yeah, they want to keep it away from
Yes.
us. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want us having access to that kind of information. And we only see bits and pieces of it. Okay. If you look at now, we all hear about the bad side of these organized religions, right? But what about the good side? There is a good side. It's not all bad.
No,
Okay.
there's lots of good things coming
Right.
Yeah.
from of it.
Like
Mhm.
manifestation, they use mass prayer, mass manifestation. Okay. They do that and it works. Um,
Mhm.
they use old school magical rituals like blood magic. Ringing a bell yet? I mean, I know y'all know, but I'm talking about to the chat room, right?
Hi,
And
Marvelous Marvin.
hold
Mhm.
on, hold on. We got to catch up. I don't want to leave nobody hanging. Okay. And yeah, it was buried with time for a reason. And you know what? The Templars are coming back. You heard it here. Actually, you heard it on somebody else's show. But the Templars are coming back. They're the ones who have the abilities to break. They're Gnostic Christians. They're read up on it. Who did that? the Y-Files covered it, and then I went to the Y-File source. It's cool as hell. Okay, link in the description. Y-Files, not that show, but their channel. Look
The
for
Gnostics and the Essene.
right. What does Hecklefish say? Link in your honeypot down below. Right. That's what he says. He says stuff like that. He's like the fish version of Chopper from Star Wars Rebels.
Oh my.
Star Wars Rebels, all the droids are obscene. They bleep every word. No joke, especially because of Chopper. If you could, I mean, oh man,
Oh my god, I speak droid.
this guy. Oh, can you hear the obscenities coming out of that droid's mouth? Okay. And hiding the truth to the complete truth of these realms and levels of consciousness in relation to his previous statement. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Eric Smith, I don't know if I said hi, but welcome to the Quantum Show, the Galactic Crystal Network. Yeah, it's still there. Atlantis much? Okay. And Scream Engine saying, I think we're ready for disclosure on all levels and topics. You know what? Let the world freak out or whatever. It's got to be getting expensive to hold the info back now. Yeah, it's it really is. The Dog and Pony Show is amazingly expensive to put up.
Yeah.
All these people with NDAs, you know how much it, not only in money but material and man hours for us to, not us, I mean humanity, like muggles, to craft the perceived reality. Imagine the most expensive movie ever times a million, okay? And it's never stops. It's the, what does Rich say? It's the something show with Drew Carey.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, but
Oh
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time
very
for
true.
everybody, not just one person, right?
Hmm.
And then yeah, and let's see. Eric is saying, don't forget epigenetic effects of
Oh yeah,
mDNA in the
good point.
context of aging. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Aussie is back. Well, got back like 20 minutes ago. Welcome back, Aussie. Okay, now I'm going looking. Okay, comparatively speaking, humans are weak, slow, clumsy, and have no natural weapons. Our own one great quality is organization. Right. And that's a good quality to have, opposed to thumbs.
Cooperation.
Yeah.
We have a
Um,
lot of that
Right. Is
when we're not
our
monkeyed with.
right. We organize ourselves. We naturally gravitate to the pyramidal structure of authority. Right. We all have a job to do in support of a bigger job. Right. Right.
Hmm.
mhm.
But that's just one way of doing it. Then we have, you're right. I agree. And
The thing that's always
okay,
baffled me about the weak, slow, clumsy, and so forth is as we have evolved. Of course, they try to make everyone think that we came from like Neanderthals and Cro-Magnums and all those other names I can't think of right now. But we lost body hair with each one, which doesn't make any sense because we're not when we were more primitive before we had knew how to build homes and were living out of caves, we needed body hair to keep warm. Yet with every advancement, we kept losing, and our brains are smaller. Do you know a Neanderthal's brain is larger than
right.
the Homo
Same thing
sapien?
with Cro-Magnon, but they weren't becoming specialized yet. That was like general, and now we're specific. I guess I don't know. We're better
Well,
at
that
it than
makes
we were
sense to
before.
me.
Well,
And
we're better at using brains than we were before. So we
Mm.
don't need as much. That's like compared to microchips. They get more powerful and smaller the more we learn how to use the material. Right? Same
yeah,
deal.
Well, if
We
you
get
look,
hmm?
yeah, if you look at the Olympics, were started in the late 1800s, and every time they have held those games, somebody has gotten faster,
Right.
stronger, uh, more skilled, across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're looking at improving our physiques a lot.
Right.
What we looked like 100 years ago is very different than we do now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're taller overall
Yes.
too. I
Right.
went into
Well, some of
Massachusetts. I
us
was
are anyway.
around the Boston area, and they have some different pubs that date all the way back to. They have a couple of them that go back to the 1700s, and you have to duck. I had to duck, and I'm 5'6". Do
Yeah.
you?
I'm
I
five
mean,
I'm
and
five two.
they do not have ceiling fans in this restaurant, by the way.
I'll bet they don't.
Uh,
That
but
could
the
end up.
ceiling was only just a few inches. I think they were like 6 foot or so overall.
But see, and there you are. They weren't big fans of tall ceilings, tall rooms,
Yeah,
and they made them for the tallest person that might be coming into that room. You didn't
yeah,
see guys that were over 6 feet tall at that
yeah. Not
time.
unless you were talking about the Vikings. Yeah,
Yeah, and
most general.
Vikings,
that
most
uh,
Vikings are not invited to dinner parties. I'm
the,
sorry.
They crashed the dinner
that's
parties.
a divergent. That's a divergence right there. That's why they
I'm
didn't last very
teasing.
long. But
I don't know. The the height that that was observed in the Vikings, that really has gone around the world. They went around the world, known world, and some of that world that's not known. But you go down into Egypt, and there are men who are 6'8" routinely.
Hmm.
So,
you're
it's
talking
the
about
type of culture you're looking at.
okay. You said Egyptian, ancient Egyptian. Okay.
Egyptian, no, not ancient, reasonably
Oh well,
recent.
they still have the DNA over there. We
Hmm.
just understand it.
Hmm.
They still have that DNA from their survival of Atlantis. Those guys were over there, and yeah, okay. But I'm not Atlantis tonight. Not tonight.
No,
I
I'm
will
not
go.
up for
I will.
that.
I will not
That's
stop
too hard.
until 6 a.m. I don't even want to go there. Okay, but Samuel was talking about lasers, and then I said aliens are still not demons. Right. That is a green light from Aussie Boss right there. And then talking about uh
You got to make a T-shirt.
not this one. You mean other than this one?
Another one. Yeah, make
Okay.
one. Still not demons.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, really.
That is on. I got to get that done. And then Human Jim was saying, I'm starting to think the bonus space on Quantum Show bingo card is aliens are. Yeah.
Yes.
You just put up a short. Still not demons, Ben. You'll get a ton of people in here.
Yeah. I'm saying Immaculate Constellation.
Yeah, really.
I made a short of
I
that one.
saw it.
Yeah, and I just said we don't talk about Immaculate Constellation. And let's see, Eric, the ability to end life via medical science has far outstretched the evolutionary ability for the brain to completely cope with the modern influx of information. Thus, there's more mental illness. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't think there's
The
more.
physical hasn't kept up with the mental. Um, I think maybe they're a little out of sync, but there's a lot more. See, I consider that to be kind of like growing pains because we're growing back into our abilities. And then not everybody is ready for it. Why I use the word muggles. Some of us, you know what? Most of us have had head trauma. If you have had head trauma, I've been rewired. My frontal cortex was rewired because I had a particular injury and it bypassed the limiting firewall, I guess. I don't know. But I was I had I was normal until 4. I hit my head, and then all of a sudden, in a year, I had learned everything I've forgotten. Yep, I forgot everything. Had to learn how to do everything again. And then that was by 5, and by 6, I was reading and writing fluent cursive. By 6 years old.
Wow.
Okay, and so it's built my mental, and plus I was astral projecting. It was
Wow.
I didn't know what it was. My grandmother knew what it was. My grandmother did this. You got to cut up the clouds. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Cut up the clouds.
Yeah, you take a knife out in the yard if you don't want it to rain.
Oh,
Remember,
yes.
this is old magic, and you
Oh,
see it.
that's a powwow.
Right, you cut up
Yeah.
the clouds, and they go away. Well, that's
Mhm.
quantum link stuff, right? That is manifestation. And yeah, okay, now what he's saying, the ability to extend life via medical sciences outstretch the evolutionary ability for the brain to completely cope with modern influx of information. It's out of sync, but our brains are not in sync with the upper and the lower are kind of got static going on, right? The higher self and the lower self, they're static. Get a traumatic brain injury. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Have y'all had head trauma?
Lots.
Everyone
have.
I know that has gone through this has gone through some kind of physical or mental trauma to rewire us, right? And we break out of the mold. We become divergent, okay? And it's so what he's saying, I understand what you mean, but I want to add to it, not necessarily disagree with it, but there is uh, the brain is not completely understood yet. And it never will be, by the way, because they're insisting it's totally electrical, totally chemical, and totally mechanical. And there's more to it because we are conscious. We can have things like the quantum network, the crystal network, manifestation, power of prayer, gut feelings. Don't go here, go there, and then a rock falls where you would have gone, right? Okay. So I don't know if it's an evolutionary ability. I think it's a trained ability, right? We are we're trained to not use those special abilities, but our evolutionary abilities, they're there. And when you take one sense away, the other ones make up for it. Well, it's there. It's just been suppressed by our structured societies, plural. Okay, I mean all of them,
Well,
everywhere.
It's
They
like it's
all
not
get
developed
nerved
because
out
it's
when the
never.
chalk flies out of their hand.
mm-hmm, right. Like those people are starting to come up. Well, okay, those people are starting to come up. The people with heightened mental capacities, process capabilities. The psychic. What's the whole topic for tonight? Right, spiritual, psychic, psionic. Okay,
Right.
and we're starting to all wake up. All right, so I hope that's a good discussion to have. I wish I had caught it 20 minutes ago, and then talking about quantum leap. All right, we talked about that. Let me look. Um, if everything tastes like chicken, does that make grazed chickens the chickens of space? That is a question for our Keith Andrews, right? He's doing his show over there, and he's not talking about the chicken of the stars.
Yeah, I believe his show's over by now.
Oh, it is okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Speaking of our Keith, Positive Perceptions is daily from Friday to Tuesdays
Yep.
at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Pacific.
Link
And
in the description.
links in the description, and very interesting individual.
Okay. And then we were talking about here is Betty. Welcome to the show, Betty. I'm sorry I just am now seeing this, but I'm going through the chat and trying to not miss anybody because we're on fire tonight and I'm trying to get everybody in here. Holding humans back from humanity, their natural humanity, their true evolutionary path, where we can go. And right, we were talking about that. And fun fact: the first cyborg was a horse when we changed the hooves with horseshoes. Okay, yeah, that might be. I don't know if it would be a cyborg or the first of the what do they call it, prosthetics, but
I think prosthetics, really.
mhm.
Shaping the hoof and all of that. There's a lot to shoeing horses.
Right. Okay, still looking. Okay. Oh, hello, this Leslie. Yeah,
I told you
this
better
Leslie.
pay
Hey, Leslie
attention.
X. Welcome back. I know I'm sorry. I try to get everybody here. You know what I mean? Um, the phones are altering what you were saying. What y'all were saying. The phones are altering our natural coexistence with the universe and distracting us from survival traits and personal connection. Yes, it is kind of like substituting our mental for mundane, for electronic. Oh, mental power. You can't be an X-Man. You need a phone. There's no magic. You need science. No, we have all that. It's literally encoded in our DNA. Welcome back to the show, Leslie. I hope you're still here. I'm still going through here, right? And garden. I don't remember
Well,
what
we
we
were talking about pure
were
foods.
right. Oh,
And
Yeah, we're talking about
she's
foods.
absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
yeah. Her and I have extensive knowledge about pure foods.
And you want to
Just
buy heritage seeds because
right.
the other
And
seeds that you get other places are from
Mm.
GMO.
right.
And Victory Garden Supply is a very good place for that.
The coffee itself is not fancy, but everything I put in it is, right? It's either pure honey or it's all herbal and well then you got creamer with all that garbage in it. Then I ruin it. But every cup is a healing potion. I pray over every one. I really do. I mean, it's like I do it by habit now. And Betty Ball, welcome to the Quantum Show. Yes, and you got a hi from Samo. Hell yeah, Samo's one of the most quantum ones here. I don't even know if I
It
hold a
sure
candle to
is.
him. And yeah, we were talking about.
Samo knows when there's a problem early on.
Mhm.
Samo knows when there isn't one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do know you.
Just had this little quantum feeling. I didn't know it was you for sure, but I
Yes,
I
sir.
knew on a quantum level it was you.
And we were still talking about. I'm oh god, I might have to skip some stuff, right? I make sure I have loving vibes when I cook. Makes a big difference. I've had plenty of experience consuming foods that were subject to bad vibes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
made a short. I made a small video on how I make my coffee every time, and one of the key ingredients is smile when you make it. Key ingredient. It's in
And
there.
stir clockwise.
Well,
Smile.
you can stir it however you want, but end with one because that's your manifestation.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's how I do it anyway. I mean, whatever works for
Yeah.
y'all.
I
Yeah.
always put a pentagram in mind.
I I
Or
do as
I
well.
should say a pentacle, because it's very hard for me to remember right side up. I make a right side up star, okay?
Right,
5-armed.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the expression of I had someone say, "Man, those Chiles were hot when they put them in. Were mad when they put them in that can."
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Hotter than a firecracker.
And
yeah.
then
My
go,
grandmother always just said, "Don't ever cook
Hmm?
when you're angry." Your
oh,
that energy goes right into the food, and then and you think about restaurants. I always, if I can, look back there and see who's cooking.
mhm,
See if they look
right.
like they're having a good day or a bad day.
Yep. Yeah, and damn you autocorrect moment. Damn you autocorrect.
Sacramento.
Okay. I'm blaming lag. I'm blaming lag. Okay. And Marvelous Marvin is here. I'm sorry. That was like 20 whole minutes ago. My bad. He fixed it later though. Sacrifice. And then I was talking about the robots.
Beep, beep, beep.
Let's see. And Samo, you know, when the ISS catches an armada of UFOs flying by information, it makes you wonder, why are we not a part of it in space? Right. I think I know typos, right? Right. Why aren't we? Because they don't want us to eat them. That's
I
why.
I know why. I got an idea. It's spelled GREED.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Uh. Okay. And hi, everybody's coming in. Oh, this is when I talk about the Templars. Templars are coming back. They're Gnostic. Oh darn, that's something I could get behind. Yeah, check out that show. They are guardians of our future by they have the stuff from our past when we were a higher civilization
Yeah.
from Atlantis. From Atlantis, you heard me. They have the Atlantis stuff, the stuff that works, and they know how to you work it. And it's not buttons and switches and dials and plugs. There's a mental component. Hello, right? There's a
Yeah.
mental component there that it cannot be substituted. You cannot. AI don't got it, right? We got it. We are the key. Okay. And yeah, Templars. Yeah. Love me some Gnostic Gospels. Hells yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And okay. I think I'm getting caught up. Okay. Not just what you were saying, Raven, not just losing hair, but physically removing hair and maybe removing with it many eons of brain cells slopping off as we go because we willingly let go of our survival history. Yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, she said it. Let go of our. She fixed it
Mm-hmm.
later.
None of
Phone
our
cycle.
children know how to plant a garden. None of
Right.
our children know how to till one. None of our children know how to milk a cow.
Yeah.
We are in sad shape.
Yeah. I wouldn't know how if it wasn't for my grandmother living with us in the summertime because my mom was one that she didn't like to cook. I was a kid pretty much raised on fast food, except in the summertime when grandma was with us and grandma taught me how to cook and do that sort of stuff.
I learned from my aunt, and much for the same reason, survival. You
Mm-hmm.
know, 'cause my mother did not cook. She gave it a good go. I'll give her that. But
Okay.
learning how to cook was a good thing.
And so, I mean, how many kids these days know how to thread a needle and sew a button back on?
They don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Scream Engine. Speaking of that, right? The higher self, ego, and all that. Remember that guy with zero frontal lobes that went viral a few years back? I actually don't remember that. It rings a bell, but I don't remember. And he
I
was
don't
unstoppable.
remember.
He was a little bonkers and wild, but determined as hell. I'm not really sure about that,
I
right?
don't know. Your this is where your empathy is. I know your frontal lobes and your
Well, that's also where your ego is, and where
yeah.
your I can't do it lives, right?
It's
And
the newest part of the brain.
right,
Right.
ego is in there too. It's very tied to ego. I would have to look that up, Scream Engine. If you would look in my description, contact me somehow, right? I'm on Facebook. and my email is down there. I would like to know that. And ZZ was like, wow, astral projection when you were that young. Yeah. And cut up the clouds. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. She knew about that. That was all manifest. That's old school. That's old world magic right there. That's
Mhm.
some Harry Potter old magic. Okay. And I was born this way. Some of us were. Some of us were. Not all of us had head trauma. I remember this part. I'm almost caught up, y'all. And yeah, waking up does not mean woke. That is
Good point.
look at
Yeah.
hey now, not to be political, but look at what happened to Rome. Leaving it there, okay?
Let's just take a nice long look,
Yeah, I'm not.
and
I'm
you'll
leaving
have
it there,
all your answers.
right? And we, boop. Okay. Yes, and I was talking about the coffee, right? Making your own coffee. You take your coffee, however you like to make it the best way you can, right? And then you enhance it later. Thank you. Yes, keeping it quantum. Oh man, I am so behind on this. See, the panel is for us to talk to the people. ah,
Yeah, that's why I like it so much.
yeah, and we were just we're almost there. We're 2 minutes behind. Homesteading should be major part of school. Yes, I
It
agree.
should.
We need to know how to live. You know, how to understand a very changing world of rules and regulations, how we regulate taxes, uh, insurance, savings accounts, and things that, I mean, how does banking work?
Running your grocery,
Running groceries,
how
Yeah, how
to
to
shop.
budget. How does
right?
how does
Not stand in front of a door. Come on, we've stopped doing all the basic stuff. Don't play in the interstate. Don't do that. It's bad. Don't run in the road.
Take your head out of your phone to cross the street.
yeah.
Right. Pay attention. Look twice. Leslie.
If somebody else has grabbed their hand so that they don't get hit.
Right. There are actual, ironically, there are TikToks of that happening. There are so many parts of the brain not in use, and I've seen medically when someone obtains a head injury, they light up parts of the brain not usually in use. On the flip side, some people grow.
Yeah.
I bypassed. I went around my firewalls. I mean, it's weird. Okay. Weird from a muggle perspective. Cool as hell from my perspective. I love seeing shadows and being able to hear people talk. When I get a fever, I get totally telepathic. Of course, I got a fever and I can't really do much because I'm like, I got a fever. But I'm hearing
I
everybody.
feel like hell.
Yeah, I'm feeling right. I feel otherwise. I feel horrible. But I'm hearing you, like from
You know,
wherever.
I listened to you about that, and I hadn't connected telepathy with a fever at all. Okay. And when I was in to visit my doctor this last week, I had a flash fever going,
Hmm.
and I could hear him thinking.
Yep.
The oddest thing.
You know what?
Mhm.
One time I ate jalapenos on a pizza, and it caused a little bit of a fever, right?
Oh yeah,
And
it
this
runs
happened
up.
in right. It just caused my blood pressure to go up and my temperature raised because it was like working harder to deal with the hot stuff, right? And this was in New Jersey in my AIT in the army. We had pizza. I had jalapenos on it. I was getting over it, and we went to a video store. Yeah, we still had video stores, right? Went to a little indie video store, and the girl was on the phone, and I had my fever, and I didn't really realize it, right? And we went to pay for it for something. They were buying something, renting something, and I heard, well, I felt what she was feeling. It was, I'm impatient with you. I don't have time for you. I'm on the phone. The feeling of it, not the words, the feeling of it. You know how you feel annoyed at someone? Well, it's New Jersey. Everybody's annoyed in New Jersey, right? Everybody gets annoyed in New Jersey. It doesn't matter what you're doing. We were trying to rent videos, and they were annoyed at us. I'm like, whatever. And yeah, I had a fever. I didn't realize it. I did realize it later once all the really cool shit started happening on the regular, right? And I was like, well, that was an experience. And let me going through the chat. We're almost caught up. Okay.
Okay, Nathan,
Yes.
with your blessing, I have a link here that I can put in the chat room for everybody. It is the primer for learning telepathy. It's a free download, and it's from the official First Contact, those Ponte, the ETs that are in the Sanadea Mountains
Yes.
out there by Amy. Remember
Okay.
talking to you about this? I think I've sent it to you. Oh, but it's been a while. But it's how to
Yeah.
train yourself, how to get telepathic. Everybody can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got the same
Hardware.
in the brain. It's just a matter of practice and knowing how to do it. So this is a
Activating it,
step-by-step.
huh?
Pardon me?
Activating it.
Yeah. This is a step-by-step thing on how to develop your telepathy.
Okay.
Terrific.
Okay?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. Put it in there.
Cool.
And
Put
I
it,
think
put
this
it in
is
the,
where
put it in the
what-
private chat there, Raven, so that he can grab it and put it up.
Okay.
Well, I have a workaround for that. You put it in however you want. I have a workaround for that. And I think Scream Engine was talking about the guy with no frontal lobe and how the rest of his brain took over. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But then that happens, but they're finding out that we have at least three centers of our being. We have our brain, we have our heart, and we have our gut. You know.
Oh, then that would make it 4 because we have, if you look at any aura picture, any
yeah.
psychic,
Your crown
we have
chakra.
something up here. We have something above us.
Your crown chakra.
Right. Okay. And okay, I will look that up, Scream Engine. Thank you. I will look that up. And then
Well, there you
Eric
go.
is
That's
like,
great.
yes, that's it.
Thank you.
And then Tim is like, psychic jalapenos.
Well,
there's the next track.
Jalapenos rev up your endorphins, and when those are activated, everything opens up, your pores and everything.
Not
but
if
your
it's
brain
too
does
much.
too.
Not
Oh, really?
if it's
I
done
can't eat
with
them. They
moderation.
give me a
Everything in
headache.
moderation, you know.
Oh yeah, you don't want to sit and suck on those things all the time. You'll wreck your gut.
Yeah. Human Jim was saying governments, federal, state, and local keep slashing the budget for education. I believe they do this so they can say we can't afford programs that teach much needed skills, then pour money into sports, the bread and circuses over time. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you're
And
right.
you know what?
Yep.
That stuff makes more money. That stuff makes
does.
more money because it's silly people doing it. And okay, just going through. I don't want to leave nobody out, right? Okay. Here is the link.
Yeah.
I can grab it. No problem. I can grab it. I
Terrific.
can I'll grab it, and you know what? I'll do it right now. What I do is I go to YouTube.
I
In
was
a different
I
tab.
was going to put
That's
it
how
on
he
Messenger
says.
for you.
Yeah, I just go to YouTube and
But these are an ET race. They're called the Ponte, and it's spelled with a P''TI, I think. The channel is Sue Walker.
I know her.
The whole thing, how that came about, is kind of an interesting story. I don't know if we have time for it or not, but anyway, they have what would be equivalent to what we call it, like when you're traveling by car and you go across a state line and you have the welcome center and you stop and you got all the brochures and everything you can go to and go to the bathroom and it's vending. Okay, they have an outpost that's in this Sandia Mountains, that is kind of like that. So if you're new to planet Earth, you are somehow, I don't know how others are made aware of them there, but somehow, whatever, they go there and they get to learn a little bit about the humans and a little bit about planet Earth before they go out to, observe and sample or whatever it is. It's like, it gave
Here's
me
the
an
rules
impression of
and
like
regulations, huh?
yeah. And beware if they're carrying a long stick that goes boom. I guess I don't know, but they have like a place there. They've been observing us here for a long time. Now the website's called Official First Contact because they had been talking about for years that they had a date set in, I think it was 2022 or 23, just recently passed, that they were going to go ahead and initiate contact no matter what the government said.
Right.
And just do it on a direct one-on-one, or small group basis.
Right. What I've
I
been
don't know
saying.
what happened to that. It didn't happen. I think it's supposed to be September of 23 or something like that. It'll talk about it there on the website. I'm not sure about that date, but it was recent.
I don't know that it hasn't happened. We've had
Well,
more odd things happen in the last 2 years. Down in
yeah,
Miami comes to mind, out in Las Vegas.
Miami,
yeah,
Las Vegas,
Maybe they're making it personal.
Gower Cemetery.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're they kind
What-
of look like a gray, but they're not as intimidating or scary. They kind of have a grayish skin tone, but they're small. They're like 3 and 4 foot. No, some a little bit of hair, or some have no hair, but they have more of a human looking skull to them rather than the kind of the teardrop shape that most of the grays have. They're not like that. And they're very friendly. They did have a Twitter account. I don't know if it's still up or not. And they would answer questions from people.
Check it out. Leave us
Yeah.
a link.
The Commander T. It's on that website, I believe. There's a link. There used to be. It's been a while since I checked it out. I just go to the
OFC. Telepathy. Okay, what is your learning style? Well, all that's on here is on the front page is the document, right?
Oh yeah, just look up there. I think there's a link to go back to the home page or something. Let me look and see here.
Got it.
Got it. Okay.
I'm Commander TLKM. Okay, this is a different language apparently.
It's Tilcum is how you say it. I think.
All right.
Tilcum.
I'm just going to put the text and highlight it and bring it here.
It's a fascinating little website, but they're very, and the channeler Bashar. Well, Bashar's the entity.
Is this Bashar's stuff?
Daryl Anka is the human.
Okay.
They talk about that they're smaller than us, but they're a hybrid of the Greys and humans, and they are called the it's right down the tip of my tongue. They're called the
I don't know who they are
oh
either.
God, it's right there. It drives me nuts when this happens.
Well, will this page help you at all?
Anyway, he said that they are on a parallel Earth. They're going to be making contact also.
Okay, parallel Earth, I can get behind, right? Because I've gone through enough realities to know that we're not the only ones here, and I can see parallel Earth for sure.
I want to say Anshar, and it's not Anshar. No. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't.
Archon?
No, they're not Archon. Oh no, those aren't. No, Archons are.
Oh yeah,
be avoided
we talked about that. We
at
are
all costs.
the Galactic Federation is what you're talking about. He talks about the Federation. also. He doesn't call it the consortium. He calls it the Federation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Galactic Federation.
Right.
Mhm.
They have a couple of different names.
Yeah, it depends on who talks to them, who talks to the person.
Yeah.
One person got told it's called a consortium. Who told him that? Not all of them. They didn't all put him in front of an auditorium of 10,000 aliens saying, we are called this. No, he talked to one person. That person
Yeah.
told him consortium.
We have to understand that there are translational problems, from their language to ours.
Also, a problem with perception, right?
Yeah.
Like, we are, we look at everything through our filters, right? So if we get like, I would call it the, let's consider who's talking, me, right? Now, when I get confronted with with an alien saying I'm part of a group, how is that going to come across to me, right? How many Star Trek shirts do I have? It to me, I'm going to interpret that as Federation, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That's how. Now, our buddy Keith is a businessman. He's been one for a long time. Businessmen don't have federations; they have consortiums,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Everyone filters to their own understanding. We our minds our minds adjust it to where we can understand it, not
Understand,
as it
accept,
is. Right.
be able to see it.
If we don't understand it, we tune it out or it becomes irrelevant or something. Like if someone is talking, do y'all like to watch TikTok videos?
Yeah.
Lynn?
I don't know.
Okay, then let's go with no, right? How do you like to hear your stuff? If someone, okay, now,
I look at YouTube shorts. Does that count?
yes,
They're
yes,
similar. I know that.
they're similar, but like TikTok started a whole new way of doing it because at first you were limited to 60 seconds. So these people learned to talk really fucking fast. There's my F word for the night, right? Um, they learned to talk really fast. I don't like that. Okay. I don't like the short form where they take 2 minutes and push or 3 minutes and push it down to 60 seconds. It's confusing. There's not enough coffee for me to keep up with that kind of crap. Right.
Yeah.
So
I can't keep up with the fast tone just from the
right.
hearing.
Exactly. Because we're not shifted into that. We're no, right? That's why I had to adjust to when I watch Flicker Spark, Death and Martha. Raven, do you know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Death, you have a pickup. Does anybody remember that? Okay,
Mm-mm.
well,
Sorry.
uh, see, that's short form, right? Thanks, Tim. Yeah,
Yeah, they
let's
do.
let's poke that into the quantum dartboard right there. It's forever now,
I can't
and
think fast enough to talk like that.
right. If go check out just when we're done, Google Death and Martha videos. You will they're funny, but at first I did not like them because I didn't want to have to keep up with like their damn baud rate being so high, right? It's like and she's not speeding up the videos because you can see her other videos. She talks just like that.
Deb and
And
Martha.
Death and Martha. Yep.
Okay, got it.
She's funny.
Okay.
It's great. It's very quantum, but she's Gen Z, and it's really y'all. She talks so fast on those videos, and a lot of these people do, right? A lot of these content makers do. Who's this other guy? There's a guy who covers. Well, there's a bunch of them, and they're all talking really, really fast, and I just am not into it most of the time. So I just like I'm off. I put my phone down and I don't know. I wash clothes or something, sweep the floor.
Something productive, huh?
Well, something on my on an easy wavelength,
Yeah.
Whew, okay, well,
With the telepathy, I don't understand how it works. There's almost like a magical component to it because you can understand. You will hear. Say you're talking to a mantis. Okay, you will
okay,
hear
can
them
relate.
in the language that you understand. So you will hear that in English.
Well, now they have to make that happen, right? Because I have good that you brought up that specific example, right? I actually talked to one. That's who I reached out to. Remember
Mm-hmm.
reaching out?
Mm-hmm.
They were not speaking to me in English. They were talking to me in
Like
multi
clicks.
no, there was no words. It was all there
Mind to
was no
mind.
words at all. It was
When
huh?
mind to mind, wasn't it?
Right. But his mind interpreted things differently than mine. Raven, how many televisions you got?
None.
You got a TV.
No, I don't have a TV hooked up. I haven't watched TV in 3
Not
years.
hooked up. Just there.
The screen?
Yeah. Like
Well, I
two, right?
use my laptop.
Okay, your laptop has HDMI. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember TVs back in the day? They
Yeah.
had the red, white, yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a different interface. Can you plug one into the other? No.
No.
Fit. And even if you made an adapter, the signals were different. His signal was HDMI and mine was red, yellow,
I see
white.
what you're saying. Okay.
VHS.
Yeah.
VHS. His HDMI was talking to my VHS, right?
Okay.
That's the way. Like, here's what he wasn't speaking in words. You're hearing me talk words, right?
Right.
And I think again, excluding the crystal network on your sore arm, and she talks about the only aliens I've ever talked to consciously, right? Gee, how would you pull that one out of nowhere, right? Okay. Um uh he sent images, but it was images for his mind, not mine. He has multifaceted eyes. He sent me, have you ever seen the old school? Okay, I've talked about this before. Each camera has a different image. And they
I've
were all
seen
put
it.
together, but they were all a little bit off. And they were all a different color. And they
Oh
were all a
wow.
different resolution. So it looked like garbage data, but it was so prevalent that there was no ignoring it. And I'm like, I've got to be thinking about this wrong because he can't look like that because it was like a selfie, right? And then there were feelings and more, and then there was language, but I didn't get it. Right? I didn't understand.
His technology would have almost had to include the idea that there were multiple vision.
Right. But I bypassed that. I called him on the hotline, on the hallway phone. The technology wasn't present, right?
Right.
Only the operator. There was another person on the line. It was like an overseer. And the person was, the other person looked like really a TikTok avatar. It was cartoony. It looked like it was hand drawn and it wasn't animated. It was just a static picture.
Oh, I have heard of experiencers describing that very thing
Okay.
on a recall. Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
This
Yeah.
person was silvery blue. This particular avatar was silvery blue. But I was talking to him. Now, he sounded like he was reading something on how to answer monkey brain humans on the phone, right? The way he was
If you encounter a human, do this.
right, right.
Don't answer the hallway phone.
For real. I did reach out and I reached out. I was in a certain meditative state. I reached out and now I had a after talking with Keith, right? I had a clearer vision of who I wanted to talk to. That's a network protocol. Okay. Now, because the protocol is there doesn't mean my monitor can read his signals. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My computer has a network, but I don't have HDMI. If I get an HDMI signal down here, I'm not going to be able to interpret it. It comes up as garbage data on my YouTube. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because my screen is not
Yeah.
handled, is not for that. Or at least that's what it was like in Windows 98. Okay. Now it's different. Now everything has a patch to it. And yeah, I'm smoking. My show.
I think.
Samo and huh?
Oh, go ahead.
They're all making fun of me.
Well, they're
But
just telling you not to light the wrong end of the cigarette and don't put the wrong end in your mouth. That's
right.
all.
Filter,
They're just
filter,
trying to be
filter.
helpful.
You know, you're making me want one. I think I want one too.
Yeah.
But
But
when smoke them if you got them.
We're past 2 hours. It's late night everywhere, and if it's not, good morning, England.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they talk to us, when they initiate, they're using that hardware. They're using the translator, universal translator. But I called them.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
we don't have a microphone to interpret those signals
Right.
either
Right,
way,
Right.
or
So I wonder
or
if
it
it's a
has to.
dimensional thing too. If they're too far out from our dimension, it's going to make communication too difficult, even telepathically. Maybe the closer
well,
we are to in the same density, or
interesting that you should mention that because it's like the context is different from there to here. Like, how do you talk to a fish?
Nicely.
Okay,
I just talk to them.
right. But how do they talk to you? They're in a whole different environment. They
Yeah.
can't talk to you in English, and you can't talk to them in fish, right?
I hope you don't mean dog.
No, I mean
But
fish.
like,
Oh, I
good
know.
that you brought up
I've
dog and
never
cat
been able to
because, like,
connect with fish, but I can to dogs.
yeah,
They
and
have a
they're
closer context to our context. They walk on land. They have a nose, 2 eyes, mouth, ears,
An
context.
attitude.
Right. They have feet that touch the ground, right?
Yeah.
They have front feet and back feet. We have to them front feet and feet, right? Back feet. The context is there. They kind of get it, but they have what they have, right?
and they live with us. I mean, so they, they're closer to us and familiar. They're more familiarized with us. But I mean, you can get vibes off of a tree.
Hmm.
You can get
Oh yeah.
vibes. I mean, you can communicate with an insect or something like that in a way that, like, I'm not going to harm you. You can start sending that message to.
Right. Very.
I-
Now you said tree, right?
Yeah.
Now a tree is they're a higher intellect when you look at it from a quantum level. Okay, they have the biggest hive mind on the planet, literally. Okay, and it's been
Yeah.
intact for thousands of years. And when you talk about a dog, well, they identify with us.
Right.
Okay,
Well, they think they're people.
right. Especially huskies. Do you consider gut feelings a form of communication like that? Yes, I do. And that is it. The gut feeling. Now that is a circuit, an antenna that's open to a lot of different places, right? And oh, I'll get to you, Mister Sacramento. And do you consider gut feelings a form of communication? Yes, that is
Yeah.
open. That is a circuit that we have that many people, some are guarded against it because we will react violently to it. But then we have people like our spirit guides. They will talk to us and they will give us those gut feelings, right?
Yeah.
So
There's certain
that
people that give you an ugly gut feeling right off the bat.
right, the antenna is picking up bad vibes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we could go on and on about that. But yes,
Sure.
it is a form of communication, like that sixth sense feeling. Yes, totally, totally. Okay, now, um, I'm going to Sacramento. Why do you say that? Are you looking for attention? Do you want the attention? You're in California, right? How's that straw problem going on? Oh, upstage by the fire problem. Not getting into it, but if you're gonna come to my show and you're gonna troll, expect it. So,
Storm's just waiting for the word.
oh, I don't need the word.
Okay.
I'm on the switch too here.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me just get over here to it. Oh, ain't no trolling. Well, I don't think you have a context for what you're saying. I don't think you have a context for what you're saying. And I don't think you've been observing as much as you think you have. You need to turn on your gut feeling. What did we just talk about? ZZ was talking about gut feeling. Turn on that instinct, buddy, and make sure your ego is not filtering your perception. Okay? So I'm not gonna boot. It's all good. Okay? You hear your quantum for the moment. Okay? And I'm not some notice I am not some big YouTuber that panders to their audience. Okay? We discuss things and we discuss it all. I no, I do not. I don't see how you do that. Define it, please. Define it. You don't have to define it. I understand it. Um, and no. Yeah, Samo is doing front desk work here with you, bro. Yeah, welcome to the Quantum Show. Well, hit like and subscribe. And I don't think you know what that word really means, Mr. Sacramento. So moving right along. Let me go back a little bit. Eric said, I worked for 6 years on the Cabrina Kincaid psychic line reading the Rider Waite tarot I got when I was 16. It felt like a psychic boot camp. However, the networking was great. Yeah. You know what?
It's a
Yes.
real good way of putting it.
You're tuning yourself in. That's awesome. I learned with runes that I got at a bookstore. And I concentrated on that so much, I got in trouble. In Germany, of all places, the home of the runes, right? I was seen with took my runes out of my pocket and I did a quick three rune spread, and somebody told the commander, and he said, "Oh, he's trying to assemble a gang. He's trying to assemble the rabble of the unit." I'm like, the first thing my inner sarcasm says, I don't want rabble. I want the best of us. No. But I didn't say that, right? And I was also like, I was being goofy with. I just learned to make business cards, and guess what I did? Made business cards. I shouldn't have. It was like, and it scared people. It wasn't. I wasn't doing anything bad. It just scared people, and that was all. But yeah, that is a great way, Eric, for you to sharpen uh that sixth sense. Yeah. Felt like a psychic boot camp. Yeah. Yeah, and boot camp it is. You get knocked around, and all the people that you're talking to, psychic line reading. Now, a lot of those people, some of them are fakes. There's one down by the tire shop, and if he's psychic at all, he'll know I'll never go there, right? And when I walk in there, you know what I'm going to say. I bet you didn't see me coming, did you?
The tarot can be used in all kinds of ways. Can be used for meditation, can be used for prayer. It can be used for divination, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but it also can be used to facilitate magic. It can. It's the skill of the practitioner. It's not the cards.
You're right. Hmm.
Right. And it's, oh man, that one time I did a reading for someone and it came out the same as the tarot reading. She didn't like my reading, not because the reading was bad. She didn't like me. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
that's fine. But she liked the next guy because I don't know, had a different vibe for her. But I was right. And he just said it in different words.
Hmm.
But I was right. And she didn't like my presentation, I guess, or she didn't like me, my vibe or whatever. And like, oh, what people really got freaked out when I was doing readings, right? This was like 20 years ago, y'all. I would light a black candle on the table and they were
Hmm.
like, "Why are you doing that? Who are you summoning?" I'm like, "Wait, this is a cloaking okay, this is a cloaking device. Mister, welcome to my bird of prey. This is a cloaking device." Mm.
It absorbs
Yeah,
negative energy.
that's
It
right.
absorbs negative energy and provide. And in my case, I was putting up a shield, right?
Hmm.
Right?
And black
Too
is
much Hollywood. That's where Hollywood has done such a disservice to anybody who's psychic or a
He's
reader or
a real practitioner.
yeah.
yeah.
We got man, we're on fire tonight. Chat room's on fire. ZZ, so glad you found us. Y'all are so versed. Well, we try. We just have this shit happen, right? What's the difference between the dream world, the out of body, astral projecting? Are they overlaps or are they completely different? Right?
You could say that out of body is the same thing as like astral projecting. The only difference I would say is that you can pop out of your body randomly, or and astral projecting is more of a conscious effort. Like before you go to sleep, you're like, I want to astral project tonight, and I want to go somewhere. But they're basically the same thing, I would say. What do you think, Lynn?
They're very similar. Um, Astral projecting usually has a goal in mind,
Yeah,
whereas
destination.
just out of body is more or less just taking a break and getting out. you know, I'll do out of body during the evenings, and the my watch actually registers it as having been asleep, even
Your
though
watch?
my
What?
watch, yeah, my watch will registers my sleep patterns,
Oh, really? Oh,
and
cool.
it registers it as being asleep, and I'm not asleep at all. I can answer questions, I can do stuff. Now if I lie down and go to sleep and out of body, that's another matter. So they're different levels of it.
Yeah, they
Astral
say that.
projection usually has a goal.
Right. And let me throw this in there too, right? When I was talking with my candle magic to my ex girlfriend, I was using astral projection.
Hmm.
She was in the dream world. So, yeah, there's an overlap. But you, uh, again, the filter of the person, what they want, how they choose to see things. I was showing her things. I was manifesting. I was showing the mental world to her that I was creating, and she accepted it. She didn't have to, right? But she accepted it because, well, she trusted me, and I wasn't. I was in. I was being a goofball with the square room, being a Neo running around at me with a lightsaber, right? And well, she didn't like it, but she accepted it. And yeah, so also what you said, Lynn, there's a goal, right? Well, in the dream world, there is that's that's when we go interdimensional. That's when we can
Right.
go to the moon.
And that's
Um,
when you start to be able to manipulate your own dreams.
well, that's lucid dreaming, right?
Hmm.
And that is manifestation also. You're creating the environment, or you are acting within the environment on of your own volition instead of reacting to the environment? Good question. Yes, definitely. Samo called it, right? And so there's also, okay, now my ex Maria, she was talking about they put her on painkillers, right? And it wasn't opioids, it was opium. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, now we did some research about what opium was used for in the old magic world.
Hmm.
It was used for out of body experiences.
Right.
He went to a place and she saw somebody else there. She didn't expect to see that person there, but that person was there. They were astral projecting, not with opium, but with drink, with like, meditation.
You just happened to connect with that.
Right. But that other person was more like remote viewing because it wasn't an entire body, it was just a set of eyes. And that
Oh.
is a different way of doing it. But they ran into each other and they talked to each other. This was cool. They talked to each other in real life. And my ex said, I saw a set of eyes when I was there. And she goes, and the friend goes, oh, well, that was me. I saw you there too. What? And they described the same thing.
So just a floating pair of eyes?
Yep. Yep. The
That's
way,
how they manifested themselves.
yeah, that's how. And sometimes when we do remote viewing, right? Sometimes we're a ghost. This is from other people, right? Now I don't have any practical experience in this way, but this is what people close to me have said. Sometimes they are seen as a ghost. Sometimes they are seen as a head. Sometimes they're seen as a pair of eyes,
Or
and
a
they don't
shadow?
really,
Or a shadow.
or a shadow, and they
Yeah.
don't really know how they're being perceived from the outside, just like right now, right?
Hmm.
Like, I think I'm the most handsome devil walking the face of the earth, but I know that's not what everybody else sees, right? I know not everybody else sees that. I'm sure my mom's cats don't think that, right? So, and
Well, not their species and all,
mm, right. See, context is different. Okay, well, I hope that answers a question, ZZ, or at least sparks some inner dialogue. Get to know your voices. He said, "Thanks. I've heard people saying they are different. I've only spontaneous out of body before. Yeah, there are ways to do that on purpose, right?
Yeah. A lot of books on it.
Yeah, and there are other people's ways. You can define your own way, pick and choose. You know, um,
Now I've read that we do that all the time when we go to sleep, but we just don't remember it.
mhm,
Unless the body's really sick with a fever, that your spirit leaves every time you go to bed at night.
yep.
What
And
do you think?
Well, we need to have some divinity time,
you know
Yeah.
what? I was ZZ. I was meditating one time, and I saw one, but I was very far away, but the fucker was huge. Okay. Yeah, I saw one, and
What was it?
huh?
What'd you see?
Wings and eyes. I
angels.
you. Yeah,
Seraphim.
seraphim. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. I remember you telling me about this now. Okay, yeah.
and it wasn't paying attention to me. Okay. It didn't care what I was doing. I was just kind of like on the road to where he was going. you know,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't there for me. And uh yeah, but I saw it in my own context. And well, being rewired, having head injury, I am able to see things that are really there rather than filter them all out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and yeah, dude, it's crazy, but not anymore. Not to me. All this stuff, and Tim is saying, I've been told that I am some enormous astral beast when observed from the outside. Well, we both had head injuries, bro. Yeah, and okay, ZZ, I wish I could make this stuff up, but I'm not the hero in any of it, right? If I was the hero in it, it would sound like bullshit. If I was if I was the big badass in all of this stuff, it would sound like, yeah, this guy's full of shit. We're after 2 hours. I don't even give a damn no more.
You know, really, if we made it up, I'm sure the story would be so much more interesting.
Right. And you know, but I want to
Yeah.
go back here. Tim was saying, I've been told that I am some enormous astral beast when observed. Right? We both have head injuries, and that is like the way we put out our images, right?
Hmm.
And I have yet to try this, right? I have yet to try this, but
DMT,
yeah,
NDE.
DMT dimethyltryptamine or whatever, tryptamine, the mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Or the red light therapy and near death experience.
Right.
But I think what he's referring to is the release of DMT during the dying process, and then near deathers, flatliners. That's a movie, right? They experience it, and then they come back and they tell us what it is, right? And right, you know what? I've done DMT, but I'm not allowed to bring back memory from the experience. I just come back into my body amazed. I have a body each time. Yeah, we are not meant. That is, we're not geared to handle that kind of data. Okay. Do we speak fish? Right? No, we don't speak fish. And do we? I mean, do we talk to trees? But we kind of have an advantage there that we're both up here, right? But we can't just go to a tree and ask it, "Hey, how's the coffee today?" You know, and it doesn't work like that, right?
No.
You know, how's the wind doing for you? And it's not going to say, "Oh, you know, it's a little breezy up here." No, it's not going to say that to us, right? They'll communicate, but not that way. So DMT,
You
yeah,
ever known a druid?
I have known they are good at talking.
They're really
They,
good at
hey,
talking to
right.
flora and fauna. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
understand the language, and it's not like we're doing here.
Oh no,
Right.
not at all.
It's more like this, right?
Yeah.
It's much more like that, except not human. That is how it has been explained to me. I'm likening it to this. I do not understand. Okay. And I don't think it's on my path to understand that beyond a certain way, beyond a certain amount.
Hmm.
That's okay. That's okay. You know? But yeah, spirit molecule. Yeah. Not droids, druids. And they're not, no, not lower level.
A druid is a spiritual practice. It's very much earth oriented, and they
Okay.
they're really in tune with the earth. So
Right.
it's, yeah, druids, not droids.
Oh, because
It no.
he definitely is a lower intelligence. Okay. Right here. This is he's not going to tell us any secrets of the universe anytime soon, okay? No, that
You
guy.
know any?
Sure. And this guy doesn't have the language for it. Well, it's not R5D4, it's somebody else. I don't remember the name right. He's from Ahsoka, right? Um, but no, I mean, I love droids, and that was very quantum of you to bring up droids because I love droids. I've got a room full of robots. Those guys over there, all droids, all droids.
That just proves we're
R5D4,
all on the same wavelength tonight.
right? They're all, and none of them are giving me any kind of insight to anything. They're all like, "Oh, cool, armed photon torpedoes. That's what they say. That's what they talk about. Incoming transmission. I hear that from the big giant head. No, they don't say that. Does anybody recognize that reference? Incoming
Wizard of Oz?
from the big giant head. Come on, nobody gets that reference.
The Wizard of Oz?
Tell us, Eric. Nope, not. Tell us, Eric. Eric gets it. Eric gets it. Who am I talking about? What TV show? There's your hint. Right, the big giant head. What's the TV show?
Max Headroom.
No.
Good
No,
guess.
it's not that.
I'm telling you, I swear to you, I do not know.
Yeah, but that's not the TV show. Come on. Nobody. There you go.
Third Rock from the Sun. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I've been watching shorts of that here recently, and it's just as screaming hilarious, if not more so now than it used to be.
Eric, subscribe. Bro, come on now.
You guys subscribe now.
That reference. That's so awesome. How
you can check in, but you can never leave. You can check out. You can check
Hotel,
out, but you can never leave.
Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Right. Less nerdy, but still good. But Third Rock from the Sun. Hell yeah.
That was hilarious.
Right. John Lithgow was a shaved Bigfoot. Yep. He played Bigfoot, right?
He is funny. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I've met people who are just that clueless. So, you know.
Third Rock from the Sun.
Sadly, I have to.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, okay, y'all. Whew, we are at, way over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap it up. End on a high note.
It's been lovely, folks. It's been great.
This has been awesome. This has been a great show. We talked about a whole lot of stuff. We addressed almost every comment on here, especially Mr. Sacramento, right? And I hope he learns what that word really means.
Yeah, me too. Me
too. Not tonight.
And not in a personal way, but in an enlightening way.
Right. I hope he realizes what I present myself as such. I don't believe so.
The recipes?
Recipes? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of Sheila or Corey and somebody. I posted a bunch of them on my Facebook. They're all cooking videos, right?
Oh.
Aerosol. What do you mean you only need 3 ingredients for these awesome looking brownies? That kind of stuff, right?
Oh, Jell-O.
Right.
Whipped cream. And lots more whipped cream for later.
Right. It's like
lots later.
How do you whip honey? And okay, we'll keep it NC-17. Let's keep the Jell-O.
I'm trying.
We're just laughing. Reading here.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting the red light. Austin Tiger, like and subscribe if you're here. Your quantum, yes, especially you, Eric. You knew the reference. Booyah! You get 100 quantums.
You got a point. Yeah, they can be redeemed for a T-shirt. Maybe it could happen.
Whew, okay, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and it was all relevant. Every bit of it was relevant.
Yeah.
Not only ufology.
I did good. I didn't go too far off handle.
Yeah, we started ufology, and we started whistleblowers, and then we went to. I would still love to talk to her about her spirituality, because
she did say something about Jesus when she said, she was going to have to go to after the people were pounding on her door, and she didn't answer the door, and her husband came home, and he said, we're gonna have to go to this place or whatever. And she said, I just went on autopilot, said, just Jesus take the wheel. I heard her say that.
I was driving one.
Yeah. I can't imagine being in that predicament at all. I just know.
I can.
Well, I've been in that predicament, and it's very frightening.
Yeah, it can be intimidating, but then you got to remember, I'm quantum and they're probably not here for me. So, or if they were, run. I did Men in Black. I ran.
Ah, boy.
And
Smart.
okay. Yep. Okay. Well, red light is way past overdue.
Aussie's yelling.
Yep. Aussie's like, hey, we gotta go. We gotta go. Push those buttons, you. I'm like, okay. And me and Amy are out of coffee, so pushing buttons. I love it. I love it. I
Our
love these show
moderators
props.
and you folks too.
Thank you everyone for coming by. I'm glad you're enjoying it. If you weren't, maybe you learned something. I don't know. Yep, there we go. That's the flashing red
Bye,
light.
everybody.
It's happening. It's happening.
Thanks for coming by. Y'all have a good Sunday. It might be Sunday for y'all already. I don't know. It is for me. And
Massive hugs to you too, Samo.
yes.
Massive hugs to all of us. Thanks.
Pushing buttons.
Pushing buttons.
Y'all
Love
take
to
me
all.
out here pushing buttons.